Here's 3 questions for you. They're all similar, but each is a little different. Try not to be influenced by the other questions or the title of this video. Question 1. Name a product that Clorox makes. Question 2. Name a company that makes bleach. Question 3. Name another company that makes bleach. I'll give you a second. Alright, here's my answers. Name a product that Clorox makes. Bleach. Name a company that makes bleach. Well, Clorox. Name another company that makes bleach. I came up with nothing there. I don't know any others. I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know them. My guess is most of you had these same answers. If you saw this video that I made a few months ago, you may have had a different answer for the first one. In that video, I tell the fantastic story of Burt's Bees and how they came to be owned by Clorox. Here's a clip from it. But keep in mind, Clorox isn't just bleach. They're actually a perfect candidate for my Bigger Than You Know series. Burt's Bees was big 10 years ago and have only grown since, yet they make up only 4% of total Clorox sales. So keep an eye out for that episode in the future. Well, here it is. Clorox is the topic of episode 4 of the series, and the first non-chocolate related episode. The reasoning behind my questions in the beginning was hopefully to demonstrate how Clorox equals bleach in everyone's minds. You think of Clorox, you think of bleach. You think of bleach, you think of Clorox. It's a pretty common product, and you probably struggle to come up with anyone else who even makes it. On the stock market, they're valued at nearly $17 billion. 2 months earlier, on December 26th, they hit their all-time high stock price, just under $150 per share. They had a pretty big drop a couple weeks ago when their quarterly report came out. I suppose their earnings weren't quite as high as the market had predicted, but it's insignificant when looking at the big picture. When we bring this chart to its max range, we can see just how much they've been growing. They're listed on the 2017 Fortune 500 list, way down there at 453, but most definitely on it. Last year, they had nearly $6 billion in sales, up from the previous year, which was up from the year before that. If anyone can sell $6 billion worth of bleach, it's Clorox. But come on, even Clorox can't do that. $6 billion in bleach sales? Now that's crazy talk. Most of these sales were from other products, but that's a relatively new thing. When the company started in 1913, all they made was bleach, and that was the case for more than 50 years. Back in 1913, no one was making liquid bleach commercially like this. Most people didn't even know what it was. 5 men came together with just $100 each to form a company that would be the first to do it. That company was called, you guessed it, the Electro-Alkaline Company. Yeah, it is the same Clorox company we've been talking about the whole time. They just had a terrible name at first. But Clorox was always the name of their product. It's a combination of the words chlorine and sodium hydroxide, which are used to make it. And for those 5 men, these were their professions. One was a banker, there was a salesman, bookkeeper, lawyer, and a miner. I have to say, it looks a little like a dream team. The miner knew a little something about chemistry, the bookkeeper could track their finances, the salesman and the lawyer can do their thing. What a great 5 people to start a business together. I suppose they did have some pretty significant marketing troubles early on, but then one of their early investors knew all about that, and then he stepped in to protect his investment. This company was up and running. They had a great new product and what seems to be a great group of people running everything. Now, skip all the way from 1913 to the 1970s. All they made was bleach, the same stuff we associate with them today, with one small exception. In the 1940s, they tried introducing a new household cleaner called Boone, but no one really cared about it, and it only lasted a couple of years. Other than that, it was over 50 years straight of exclusively making bleach. But then in the 1970s, things changed. That's when they came out with Clorox 2. Clorox was for white clothes, Clorox 2 was for colors.
What Clorox bleach does for whites, I do for colors. It's perfect. Another home run.
It was a big thing for them. It doesn't seem like much now, but after 56 years of one product, having two products was exciting. After Clorox 2, they made an acquisition that makes sense. They acquired Formula 409. After that, they made an acquisition that doesn't seem to make as much sense. It was Kitchen Bouquet Browning and Seasoning Sauce. In 1972, they followed up on that with Hidden Valley Salad Dressings. You probably know their ranch dressing. 1 year later, they made an acquisition Hank Hill would not approve of. It was Kingsford. They make the charcoal and other things associated with grilling. Everything I just mentioned here was within a span of 4 years. In the 1980s, they came out with Fresh Step cat litter. In the 1990s, they acquired Pine Sol, as well as SOS steel wool pads. In 1999, they made their biggest acquisition to date, First Brands. This was huge because it was a company almost as big as Clorox themselves. From this acquisition, they became the owner of Glad, who you know for their garbage bags and food storage containers, as well as Scoop Away, meaning they now own two separate cat litter brands. That's like one of those crazy facts you could break out at a party. If you get nothing else from this video, you could at least go out and tell someone that Clorox owns two separate cat litter brands. I guarantee they won't know that. As of the early 2000s, they actually share ownership of the Glad brand with Procter & Gamble, meaning when you buy those trash bags, 20% of it goes to Procter & Gamble and 80% of it goes to Clorox. Bringing it back to the beginning of this video, they bought Burt's Bees in 2007. Again, you can watch my other video to hear more about that. It does complement this video because it'll help you further realize the magnitude of Clorox when you think about how Burt's Bees only comprises 4% of their sales. In their most recent annual report, they disclosed that fact, and it's actually part of a bigger graphic that's just perfect for this video. Over here, it helps express their size through some key figures. As I go through some of this, just compare it to those early days when it was just 5 guys pulling together $500 to start a company. Well, today, as I said, they have $6 billion in annual sales, over 8,100 employees. They're spread across 25 countries and sell to over 100 markets around the world. Here's their sales by segment to get a more comprehensive list. I haven't touched on every new product and acquisition they've had. It shows 34% is being categorized under cleaning, of which 19% is home care, including Clorox, Pine Sol, Tilex, 409, Liquid Plumber, as well as Greenworks. 9% is laundry, which of course is made up of Clorox and Clorox 2. 6% is professional products, including Clorox Healthcare and Clorox Commercial Solutions. Moving down, 33% is categorized under household, 14% of which is bags and containers, which is Glad. 10% is charcoal, which is Kingsford and Matchlight. So after you impress that guy by telling him Clorox owns 2 brands of cat litter, you can knock him off his feet by telling him that they also own 2 brands of charcoal. The cat litter is 7% of sales, by the way, and 2% is from digestive health, more specifically Renew Life. This section is a little weird. It's just called international. I believe these are various international products you probably wouldn't recognize unless you're from those specific regions, but it does show how they have a strong international presence as well, something that many companies struggle with. The last 16% is categorized as lifestyle, 9% of which are food products including Hidden Valley, Soy Vey, and KC Masterpiece, that's the barbecue sauce. As we all saw before, 4% of their sales is made up from Burt's Bees. And finally, I haven't mentioned this yet, but Brita, the company behind those water filters, if you're from America, you're buying those filters from Clorox. Now, before I abandon this graphic, if you're like me, you want to confirm all these numbers add up to 100. Not that I don't believe them, but just let me do this really quick. Alright, got my calculator here. 19 plus 9 plus 6 plus 14 plus 10 plus 7 plus 2 plus 9 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 equals... Yep, okay, 100. Perfect. We're good. Alright. So, When you go out to the supermarket, you see things made by Clorox all the time. Even if you don't realize it, you probably help contribute to that $6 billion in sales that they had last year. And all over that annual report, there's graphics and numbers that show how they're getting bigger each year, and statements about how they're trying to get even bigger. From what I can tell, they're always innovating new products, they're always exploring new markets, just always looking for new opportunities. Let me know in the comments, is Clorox bigger than you knew? I can't really imagine many people knew much more than just the bleach. That's by far what they're most known for. It's how the company started, and it's what got them through their first 50 years. From there, they decided they wanted to expand in a big way. I can get behind Clorox 2 and 409, but honestly, I may have advised against getting involved with salad dressing and cosmetics and 2 different kinds of charcoal. But here we are today, and it's all gone well, and 10% of their whole business is charcoal. Leave your thoughts about this or anything else I discussed in the comments. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Almost got the magic of Clorox. Thank you for watching.